Native Americans were driven out into the middle of America's Silver River. One of the memorable traces in American history is the fact that the Red Devils were pushed out of their territory, even though they were indigenous people here. For successive centuries, migrants from Europe took steps to take over the lands of the Red Devils by a variety of means, from war to law, making them the last people in the so-called protected land. However, the Red Devils still found a way to rise up, escape poverty, and gradually become rich through the silver mine business. Who is the red-haired Montagnard? According to a reliable theory, about 12,000 years ago, the coast of Tsushima, Japan had the lowest sea level, forming a bridge connecting Asia and America. Many people from Asia traveled to America to live, becoming the first people to settle on this continent. Later we knew them by the name Native Americans, or in English, American Native. The Red Devils have more than 40 tribes that speak different languages, most of which are Navajo, Cherokee, Choctaw, and Sioux tribes. Many scholars estimate that before European explorers discovered America, there were more than 50 million red people living here. Of those, about 10 million lived in the land later named the United States, and another 40 million were scattered throughout the United States, and formed the first red-haired tribe. For centuries, redheads have organized small tribes into a separate community. They live by farming, growing corn, potatoes, beans, or raising sheep for meat and leather. Native Americans viewed nature as a gift from God. They always believed that we need to respect and honor nature. In some regions, Native Americans had outstanding civilizations, most notably the Mayan, Inca, and Aztec civilizations. They built magnificent structures, established large-scale provinces, kingdoms, and empires. Achievements related to technology, architecture, mathematics, astronomy, writing, physics, medicine, agriculture, water, soil, mining, metal mining, engraving, and mining the Red Devils' gold is also very honorable. The peaceful life of the Indians ended when European explorers, the first of whom was Columbus, discovered America at the end of the 15th century. In the early days in the new land, the migrants remained together, lived peacefully with the surrounding indigenous tribes. However, Europeans accidentally brought an epidemic that put redheads in the worst situation. The early season epidemic, followed by rashes, pustules, and acne, spread, killing thousands of Native Americans. Their immune systems are completely exposed to strange diseases, so the risk of death when infected is extremely high. But the horrors didn't stop there. Native Americans also suffer from a mysterious disease called colic, with symptoms such as high fever, headache, acne, sore throat, and chest. Scientists estimate that the disease has caused tens of millions of people, about 80% of Indians, to die in stage 1. 1,545-1,550. Not only did epidemics bring trouble to the people of Europe, but also war. Since 1637, local authorities have been monitoring Native Americans, thereby taking advantage of the situation to occupy land. After that, the war between whites and Native Americans continued from the 17th century to the late 19th century, causing many tribes to suffer hundreds of bloodshed. On November 29, 1813, in the massacre, the Odyssey, a Georgia army led by General Floyd, attacked a village of the Creek tribe on the banks of the Tallapoosa River in Macon, Alabama today, killing 200 Reds before burning their village. Or on August 1, 1832, in the Battle of Bad Axe, soldiers under General Henry Atkinson and armed volunteers killed about 150. There are many women and children near Victory, Wisconsin today. By January 29, 1863, near the River Bear in Preston, Idaho, Colonel Patrick Connor commanded the U.S. military to kill 280 Reds in the Shoshone tribe, including women and children. Just a year later, the Californian Army killed 300 more Reds in the Yana tribe while they were in the Outrun to hold a holy ceremony. In his book titled American Holocaust, American scholar David Steinhardt argues that the determination to exterminate American scoundrels through the campaigns of Europeans and the next generation, known as Anglo-Americans, was the cruelest act in human history. After many tribulations and massacres on American territory, ethnic minorities are only about 1% of the population. Although their numbers are not many, they are still proud of their ethnic origin and life. They continue to live in areas with very difficult natural conditions, typically high mountains in Western America. These people not only face challenges from nature, but also from discrimination and social pressure. They maintain their lives by farming and raising livestock, with a self-sufficient lifestyle, maintaining their small community economy. Pride in their origin and national identity is not only a part of them, but also a source of encouragement and strength in daily life, helping them overcome difficulties and thrive in harsh living conditions. After many years of struggle, the US government finally realized the importance of the Red people. Many museums have been built. Educational systems have also brought the history of the Red people to the education system as a way to show respect for these indigenous people. But due to the small number of people, the Red Nation tribes have been returned by the US government to the walled land called the Preservation Zone. The central government considers each preservation zone a self-governed country and does not interfere with internal affairs. Finally, the Red Nation still has no source of power to escape the vicious circle of the hungry. The rescue of the Reds came from the most unexpected place. In the late 1970s, the Seminole Club in Florida opened a bingo center, a gambling game with a half-baked score. At that time, Florida and many other states in the United States completely banned gambling. But the local authorities could not do anything with the center above because it was on the land of the reserve. The dispute was brought to the Supreme Court of the United States, and finally the Seminole won. This has created a precedent for other red-collar companies to open silver mines right under the silver bars. Today, the silver mine business has become an industry that collects money in conservation areas. The total profit is an average of $30 million per year. The companies outside must carry out many tasks for the Red Group if they want to set up a business base in the reserve. First of all, the fee. With each $1.0 of fish, the money will have to be paid to the Red Group for $0.2 to $0.5. The management company must also make a commitment to protect the environment and rent a large part of the staff. As local Red people, the Red Cross is relying on money from the banks to survive. In addition to the work of the police, the Red Cross government also uses the money to maintain the activities of essential food and drink services, such as providing clean water, hospitals, and schools, maintaining police teams. The surface of the preservation areas has completely changed, thanks to the money business from the places just the poor villages, not least Shofi. The Red people today are able to live in modern cities, full of convenience. The quality of life increases clearly. Most importantly, it helps the tribes not to be destroyed because the people can live on their own land instead of having to beg for it. What future for the red skin? Despite the poor business, the COVID-19 pandemic has stuck a strong link in the silver industry. 500 silver bars on the earth of the red skin have been forced to close, leading to more than 1 million jobs lost. According to Phil Hawkins, the executive director of the Kalispell Ministry of Economic Management, there are no ships. We can't make money to continue operating the infrastructure system with the crew of workers. Forces such as doctors, police, fire brigade are all working hard because of the financial crisis. Some of the silver management companies have given a number of unemployed red people to save money. There are also companies that continue to maintain their staff and pay enough insurance support for the unemployed. No matter how crazy it is, after many months of closure, the Red people's communities are still in the situation of thousands of pounds hanging from their hair. The US government must make a $8 billion aid package for the shelters. But so far most of this money has not reached the hands of the people. The current crisis is making many red-haired people doubt the sustainability of an economy that depends too much on silver. Many leaders of the tribes have had diversified economic movements in the local economy. For example, in addition to distributing profits from the coast to infrastructure and essential labor services, they also use money to create new jobs for the people. For example, they will find a fruit tree suitable for the conservation of the reserve or invite craftsmen to teach the people. Even tourism business has changed, going from just taking guests to the Silver River to the model of community tourism and natural tourism. Not only can red people earn more money, but they can also promote their country's unique culture to their friends. The benefits that the Silver Rivers bring to the American red people cannot be denied. But this service industry is also full of many roots. Many experts believe that reducing dependence on the Silver River and diversifying the economy is the best way to protect and develop the red people tribes in the Flower region. Thank you for watching the video on the Famous Person channel. Don't forget to subscribe and watch more videos to support the group.